Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to 5 Minutes with Gray Hair Dave. Guess what? My name's Gray Hair Dave. Gray Hair Dave is going to be 5 to 10 minute podcast. Going to try and do it every day if I can. I'm sure I can. Won't always produce at the same time because I do have that 9 to 5 job. Well, it's actually 8:30 to 5. But anyways, folks, hey, just like everybody else out there, I like to make a living too. So let me tell you what this is going to be about, this 5 minutes of Gray Hair Dave. Gray Hair Dave is me. Gray Hair Dave is a guy who's lived for quite a few years, has done some podcasting, done a lot of podcasting, done a lot of jobs in his life. He's done a lot of things, like worked in a paper mill for a long, long time, making paper and all the kinds of products like that. I've also worked in the airline industry for quite a long time. Everything from throwing bags in a bottom of aircraft, and I mean that nicely. We don't throw bags. Anyway, so that's funny. Yeah, we don't throw bags. All right, so the purpose after that, what did I do after that? Oh my gosh, yeah, I had some family issues, as they say. Had those family issues twice in my life, and that's why I'm never having that family issue again. Some of you might call it marriage, and hey, good for you. If you've made yours work, I'm excited for you. Excited for you. Just because I couldn't doesn't mean that you shouldn't. Right? Just because I couldn't doesn't mean you shouldn't. So that's that. Next on our list is I've had some of my own little businesses, my own small businesses. I helped run a dance studio for quite a few years, was the man behind the office, as it were, in a sense. Brought people into the 21st and 20th and 21st century. Had to do it slowly. Next thing I did was I started working for a large corporation here in Florida. I moved around a little bit. Had a great time. I'm still there, still having a great time. I'm in a more challenging position now than I've been in a while, but it's still a great time, But here's what's going to happen on 5 Minutes with Gray Hair Dave. I'm going to talk about things that mean things to me, and I'm hoping that mean things to you. Now, I'm talking to mainly baby boomers here, but if you're not a baby boomer, that's okay. It's absolutely fine. You can be a Gen X, a Gen Z, a Gen Y, you can be anything. It doesn't matter to me. If you enjoy what I'm saying, you enjoy what I'm saying. But some of the things we're going to talk about is the life lessons I've learned in my years of being alive. Now, I've been alive a long time. I won't be shy about that. And another one of the reasons for this podcast was to promote my new business I'm starting called Boomer Podcasting, which is where I'm going to show podcasters, and boomers, and anybody else who wants to learn how to be a podcaster. Think about it. You're in your 50s, 60s, you're retiring, and you're out there going, oh, what am I going to do now? It's not that you don't have purpose in life. You've got family, you've got friends, I'm sure you've got some hobbies. But this might be something for you to do. Leave your legacy. Talk about your life experiences like I'm going to. It doesn't have to be 5 minutes. It can be an hour. It can be about anything. My brother Tim and I just got done with a podcast last year. We did it for 2 straight years. It was for Christian poetry, which I have gotten closer with God because of this, and which is another reason this podcast will be child friendly. Not going to cuss and swear. I'm not going to rant and rave. about oh this and oh that and oh my whatever. It's not what I'm about. I'm about trying to get happy and be happy in my silver years, my golden years, or as it is. But my hair didn't turn gold; it turned gray. That's why it's Gray Hair Dave. I got some cool stickers for people who want more information or give suggestions on what they want me to talk about in my 5 minutes of Gray Hair Dave podcast, which is probably going to end up being about 10 minutes a day. I hope to do it daily, folks. I really do. Hope to do it once I get home from work. Publish it the same day. I'm going to try and get a couple ahead so that it's, you got them out there. But that's what this is about. I'm going to talk about what happened in my life earlier on. Not specifics. I'm not going to give out a bunch of names and all those kinds of things. Things that were going on in the 1960s, the 70s, the 80s, 90s, 2000s. My favorite memories that I had growing up. I'll talk about family, my friends. I have had great friends. I still have great friends, but I've had great friends growing up, and I am excited to talk about my friendship with them. I'm going to talk about the TV shows that I grew up with, that you grew up with if you're a baby boomer. I'm going to talk about music a lot. I like music. I'm very into music. My problem is I can't get into today's music as much as I'd like to. I try. I do try. Some of it I get. Some of it I'll never get. Some of it I don't care if I get. But if I get it, I get it. So, if you're a younger person out there who's got suggestions on things you think I should listen to, there'll be a place where you can leave me a voicemail on my website as soon as I get the website built. But I wasn't going to build the website until I started recording. So the website will come soon. But yeah, we're going to talk about those things. Cars. Oh my God, cars. How technology has changed. You think about, if you're a grandparent or even a parent, think about what it was like when you were younger. I remember my very first cell phone. Now, it wasn't that brick you see on the original Saved by the Bell. But there was one we had that at the airline I worked for that came in a bag. It was called a bag phone, honest to God. It was called a bag phone. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the airlines and as time goes on, but we'll leave that. But things like that. We'll talk about my favorite books. Historical events that I have lived through. We're also going to talk about some of the people that I have met in my life. From rock stars to legends in rock and legends in music to presidents of the United States. It's an amazing, amazing time to be alive for me. But anyways, we'll talk more about that. We'll talk about holiday traditions. What I grew up with. What did you grow up with? Those kinds of things. I'm going to try to keep this all upbeat as possible. I have got 30 ideas for the first 30 days. And I'm looking for all kinds of more. But let's just see where this takes us, folks. Again, I keep mentioning this because I'm Gray Hair Dave. I hope you love my podcast artwork because it was done by the coolest company. I'll have to tell you about it next week. I'm sorry, not next week, next time. Because I'm running long on time here. I want to edit and get this published today. Thanks for listening. Let me know what you think when the website comes up. Give me a couple of days to get it going. I think you're going to enjoy this, and I hope you do. Tell your friends, Gray Hair Dave's out there. Ooh, sorry about that. Those are the mistakes that I'm going to edit out in the future. But I'm going to leave them on the first one because I want you to know this can be done by anybody. This can be done with your phone. You don't even need microphones. You don't need anything fancy. I've got all the fancy. You don't need it. But you can get it, and it's not that expensive. So, anyways, Dave, folks, that's me. I'm Gray Hair Dave. Please listen. Please tell your friends. I'm going to try and post this every evening so you have it the next day or that night. Anyways, folks, have a great, great evening or a great, great morning or a great afternoon, whichever time zone you're in. And we'll talk soon. Bye.